It's been more than 2 weeks. More than 2 weeks since I left Satoshi Manor on my ill-fated attempt to sleep in the new Chitose airport in Hokkaido for an early morning flight. What an astounding and unbelievable couple of weeks it's been. I came to Taiwan for practical reasons, but also for deeper ones. And in terms of the practical, I feel like this first adventure here has been a total success. I like Taiwan. I like Taipei. I like the people here. I like the lifestyle. I think the costs are reasonable enough that I can make this a home base away from Hokkaido for at least a few months every year. I've made a few friends, and I've learned the rough lay of the land. As I write this, I'm sitting in Hualien, which I keep misspelling as Hualien because it's so funny to me. I'm not misspelling it, but I'm putting a space in there, and so it messes up the way that I pronounce it. So it's funny because I wrote a book called The Who Factor, which I renamed a couple of times, but it was about aliens transporting Ben Franklin to the distant future. It was a deeply flawed book, but it's funny that I'm in a town that I keep calling Who Alien, because that was the book. Ha ha. If I'm going to stay here, I want it to be in the right place. Now, a respected spiritual teacher once told me that when you walk in a room, you need to find your specific place to sit, the one that speaks to you. And I think countries and cities are like that too. Taiwan is small enough that I can get a rough survey in the almost 40 days that I'm here. Taipei felt great. I loved the bikes, the parks, the safety, but it's a bit more expensive than I had hoped it would be. The north of Taipei also felt good. That's New Taipei City. It's slightly cheaper, still had great nature, in fact, better nature, and the bikes, the U-bikes, but the transportation broke down a little bit. And to be honest, it felt a little remote at times, which I already get enough of that with Satoshi Manor and Hokkaido. I'd hoped that Hualien would be a bit of a surf town, but sadly, it has kind of a rocky beach. It doesn't really have that vibe at all. It feels a bit more like Manisa, Turkey, than it feels like a Maui beach town. Still, it has a cool vibe, but it's just not the one that I'm looking for. But I did really enjoy finding a completely empty exhibition. Seriously, there was no one there except me and the guy who was sitting there bored out of his mind. And the thing was focused on the indigenous tribes of Taiwan, their textiles, their fabrics, what they mean, what the designs mean. And that is completely and totally my jam. I'm not sure why I love textiles and design, and in particular indigenous textiles and design so much, but I do. And still though, that doesn't make this my place to sit. But in terms of the deeper reasons for coming here, I guess the best thing to say is that those deeper reasons have been meaningful because sometimes, even if you don't find what you're looking for, it helps you to understand better what it is that you are seeking. So I've gained a lot of clarity on a variety of things in this 2 weeks, which I think can be called a success, even if it's born from a sort of failure. Now, I have yet to fall in love with Taiwan's food. This is a completely different thing, and it's a complete surprise to me. I love food. I fall in love with food everywhere I go, but here it just really hasn't happened. Now, don't get me wrong, it's good. It's tasty enough to enjoy mostly, but I find myself not really wanting to finish anything. And I don't know if it's because I live in Hokkaido, which is the greatest food place in probably all of the world, or maybe it's something else. I had fried chicken, and that was really spectacular. I had a sushi roll that was really tasty and different, but it was still a sushi roll, not quite up to the standards of Hawaii or Japanese sushi. And in general, when I get food here, the rice is a little too soft, there's a little too much salt, and when things are sweet, they're just not sweet enough. Now, I've had some of the famous Taiwan street food, the Taiwan hamburgers. I've had fruit juice, noodles, an omelet sandwich thing, and a fried pig blood cake on a stick coated in chili and peanuts. That last one sounds gross, but it was really good. The omelet was super tasty, and the pig blood cake on a stick was super good and interesting until I looked up what it was, and then it became not so interesting anymore. And you can call that a leftover of having lived among the Muslims. I'll eat a pork chop, but pure pig blood on a stick, it just might be a bridge too far for me. Yesterday, I have to admit, I was feeling a little bit down. I came to Hualien with just one loose goal, and that was to visit the Taroko Gorge. And as usual, I didn't do much research. Most of the great hikes in Taroko Gorge are still closed from the 2024 earthquake. I didn't really expect that. I was feeling a bit down, and I walked along the beach, and I looked at the sky, and I walked up a set of stairs, and I went up and I found a big, beautiful Buddha with the most amazingly human eyes looking at me. And as I sat contemplating the concept of expedient means, which I've recently written about, suddenly a rainbow appeared behind the Buddha, and it brought tears to my eyes. So my next destination is going to be Taichung. And from there, I will take a ferry to an island off the coast, which is called Orchid Island. This is an island nation, but it has islands of its own. And I don't really know what to expect from that visit. So following that, I will go to a little surf peninsula, not for surfing probably, because I don't have enough time right at the moment. And then I'll go to Kaohsiung. And I get the sense that Kaohsiung is a place of creative energy, and that's kind of what I'm looking for, but you never know where you're going to find it. So here I am, and there I'll go. Onward, friends. Be happy.